of Mechanical Engineering and Design at the Triple ITDM Jabalpur, India. He was a member of the Board of Governors, Triple ITDM Jabalpur, since 2010 to 2014 and managed Bhopal from 2012 to 15. He had been the funding dean of the planning and development for 2 terms and the founding dean of research sponsored project and consultancy at Triple ITDM Jabalpur. Sir has also served as the head of the 3 departments mechanical engineering, smart engineering, and design for 8 consecutive years, as well as the chief vigilance officer. Currently, serves as a professor in charge of the Innovation and Incubation Center and director of the Technology Incubation Center, overseeing the innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem on campus, as well as the professor in charge of alumni affairs. He also serves on the academic senates and councils of various universities and institutes. Professor Tandon is the mentor of the D-Logic Lab and the Social Innovation Lab. His primary research interest includes advanced manufacturing technologies and die-less manufacturing, digital design and manufacturing, and innovative product design and development. The works of his research group in the field of innovative design and advanced manufacturing techniques are recognized at national and international levels. Sir graduated in mechanical engineering from NIT Kurukshetra, India. He received his master's and doctoral degree in mechanical engineering from IIT Kanpur, India. Professor Puneet Tandon has more than 37 of experience in engineering research, education, and academic administration. He attended the Leadership for Academic Program LEAP of the Ministry of Education, Government of India at the University of Cambridge, UK, and IIT Kharagpur at 2019-20. He has been conferred the prestigious title of Honorary Professor by the Nosov Magnitogorsk State Technical University, an educational institute of higher education under the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Russian Federation. He has been awarded in the year 2020. So with this biography, I would like to invite Sir to please come here and please enlighten us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, Sir. Please welcome, Sir.
So, good afternoon to all of you, and thank you, Dr. Pushpandan, for introducing me to the audience. Today, I'm going to talk about design thinking, and I just wanted to make certain assumptions that people have about this thing, design thinking in different perspective. So, design thinking. I just want to give you a flair, and the importance of design thinking is that it's applicable at all aspects. It's not like something which is relevant to design only or for engineering also. It's a social aspect, and incidentally, one of the prime areas, prime schools where design thinking was applied was the management school, which is Stanford GBM, Graduate Business School of Stanford University, where it was applied. Okay, so before moving, okay, this is I just wanted to share a glimpse of my campus. This is the lecture hall complex of my campus at Jabalpur, and like it's also like something if you can understand the design thinking aspect. It's a very I can keep on discussing about this particular building, but this is a frustum of its cone, which centered around somewhere on the right bottom corner, and behind it is the essentially hostel areas of the campus. Now, before I begin with design thinking, let me tell you first what is the most important aspect where we need design thinking, or which led to the origin of design thinking. So that's called innovation. Now, innovation people think as a different way, but innovation is something which people normally say it's a new or something which people are not aware of. But the same is if you talk about invention also. So there's a difference between design, innovation, and invention, which is one should very clearly understand before we move to design thinking. So design is doing something different, okay, which commonly people are not doing it. Like most of us hold the slider like this. Somebody is holding slider like this and pressing button like this. That's also design. Invention is the other end of the spectrum where you are doing something new which even the experts of that domain are not aware of. Maybe you have developed a chemical formula which the word best chemists or chemistry professors were not aware of. That's something what we call invention. Innovation is in between. It's include design also, and it's some aspect of invention also. So innovation is something new, which you are doing, and most of the people are not aware of. We are not talking about experts of that particular domain, but the general masses, general people, they are not aware of. That's one aspect of innovation. But innovation is something beyond it all. It's not only the process of making an idea or invention into a good or service that creates value, but it's also important that for which people should be willing to pay. It must have a market value also. So if you're doing something new, but people doesn't have people not willing to pay, then that's not a innovation. Like for example, I have this water bottle. I maybe make multiple cuts in this particular water bottle, which may be new. You are not able to do it, but obviously you will not purchase a water bottle with multiple cuts on it. So that's not innovation. Okay, so innovation is something where not only you are doing some new product or process, but it must have a market value and people must be able to pay. So that's why you say it's basically include both creativity and marketing or management also. So what is design? Design is simply solving problems. But solving problems of what? It's not like solving the matrimonial problem between husband and wife. It's the problems for which you are going to make society a better place to live. So you're improvising the life of the people so that we are able to doing things better and better. Like just presume again, if this slider would not have been, I would have requested people over there to keep on tapping the slide, or maybe every time I have to go down and press the slide, which is very discomfort for both of us. So that's why we say this is a design aspect. We have an innovation, and we are making society a better place to live. And this is again a common understanding of problem solving that you use brain, and some idea comes into your mind, and there is a knowledge bulb which just lights up. That's not totally incorrect, but that's even less than 10% of what we call as innovation. 90% of the innovation comes from not come doesn't come from serendipity, but come from meditation. So you have to practice, 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 and practice to understand this. But obviously, one very important aspect in this image, obviously apart from the light bulb, is the brain. Okay, you need a brain, and the brain which should be functional. There are gears in the brain, so the brain should be functional. Should not be a dead brain, or it should not be idle brain. So when you talk of brain, obviously creativity comes into mind. Now, creativity again, everybody is creative. Even Einstein has said that there is a hairline difference between a normal person and a genius. So that means that everybody is creative. But obviously, what we want is a positive creativity. We doesn't want a negative creativity. We do not want to learn from you how to break things, but how to make things. That's very important. So when you talk of creativity, you should understand that brain has two different aspects: the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. Left side of the brain is more logical in manner, which is more deal with more scientific things, more technological things, and right side of the brain is more creative. The people who deal with arts, music, social sciences, their predominant part of usage is right side of the brain. So this is what we say. You can see all the colors or the colorful side of the brain is right side, while left side is more. logical, more systematic, more clean, more niche in its aspect. The question comes, which one are you? So obviously, most of us will say, some people from the, like, I guess most of you are from the engineering background. So most of you will say that left side of the brain is more active. Somebody who is from maybe an artist, a painter, or maybe a music player, a musician, she or he will say that I'm more into the right side of the brain. But for design thinking, for innovation, for creativity, importance is that you should be using both sides of the brain. So creativity is meant for the right brainers. The answer is no. Creativity is meant for both, because both we want the things to go logical, but in a creative, with a creative spark. So obviously, as a, if you want to practice design thinking, you want to uh, think about creativity, if you want to think of innovation, then you should be using both sides of your brain, maybe equally. Sometimes it's not possible to use equally, but then it should not happen if it is 90-10. Maybe 70-30 or 60-40 is better. Obviously, 50-50 is much better. So, this is very important that we must apply equally left brain strength and right brain strength. So, why? Because ultimately, when we use creativity, we are going for innovation. We wanted to make society a better place to live, and that's the most important. That is, we wanted to make a difference out of it. Okay. So with this preamble, I'll introduce design thinkers as problem solvers. They are basically problem solvers. But again, there's a lot of difference between the simple term of problem solvers and when you say design thinkers as problem solvers. And that's what I want you to understand from this. So when we say problem solvers, the normal people will, even scientists or researchers or engineers will start solving the problem given to you. This is what, like, we have been doing. Your teacher gives you some assignment, you start solving it. And our knowledge of science engineering has taught you there's only one correct answer. So if you get the answers which matches what the teacher has given to you, 4.1982, teacher will give you 10 out of 10. But suppose you have done 3.982, the teacher will say no, the answer is not matching with the standard answer. And some of the good teachers will put a cross and give you 0 marks. Some of the so-called bad teachers will give you some marks of these steps also. But that's not how the real life works. Real life works in a very different manner. So if you are traveling from, say, for example, from here to Bhopal, and in between you find that the road is blocked because of anything, because of some jam or maybe some procession, some accident, anything. What will you do? You'll keep on standing over there, or you'll come back. You will not do any of these. You will try to find an alternate path. So life has multiple correct solutions. I'm using the word correct solutions. What you have to choose is the best solution as per the time. Okay. So suppose there's a flight from here, Bhopal to Jabalpur, and we keep on flying very reasonable price also. But suddenly Indigo decides to stop that particular flight. So will you wait till the next, when they start the flight, for the next time to fly? No, we'll find the alternate way. We try to go by train. If the reservations are not available, we'll go by a bus. It's a real urgency. We may hire a cab and go also. So every answer, every methodology is right. What we have to choose is, so there's nothing like the best answer, best solution. It's the optimal solution which you have to find out. An optimal solution depends upon the different conditions, different environmental conditions. How does the environment is changing itself? Based upon that, we'll take a decision, and that's why we have to understand from the engineers or designer perspective also. So don't solve any problem as a problem solver. Don't solve any problem as a problem solver. But most important thing is understand the problem first, which most of us do not do. And once you are able to understand the problem correctly, only then go for the solution. Because even if you have a brilliant answer, but for the incorrect problem, That's of no use. That's what even happened with us. In fact, all of us, anytime after the examination, we kept all laughing and all smiling, and we say that we have did an excellent answer. But maybe sometime later, when you discuss with your friends, your friend will say that my answer was coming 100, and you thought that your answer was 0.01. Then you realize that you have understood the problem incorrectly. Now, obviously, you will get a 0 marks. Or uh, this happens with us multiple times. So the most important thing is you have to understand the problem correctly. And please understand, the real life problem understanding is not as simple as reading a question of an examination paper. It has to first, when I say understand the problem correctly, first you have to understand the people, what we call as empathy. Okay, that's very important. And but the question comes is that I've been talking about innovation, I'm talking about design, I'm talking about creativity, but obviously my topic of talk today was design thinking. So how all these things are linked with the design thinking? So the purpose of telling you all these things is that to make you understand, to make you appreciate why do we need design thinking. Okay, it's similar to what I always feel that even if you are not hungry, and if I serve you the finest of delicacies in front of you, you will not either eat it or not enjoy it. So you must have hunger first, and that's why I've told you like uh, why we need to understand design thinking. What should be the hunger under your belly first before you understand what is design thinking. Now, if you look at design thinking, why we are talking design thinking, it has two aspects. The one is design, and second is thinking. So design, I have already told you, just to give an idea, it's a process of problem solving to make society a better place to live, and of understanding that we have to understand the problem first before solving it. So what is thinking in this? What is thinking? Can anybody make a guess? What is thinking?
Intelligence.
Okay. Uh, I said that I earlier have said that all the answers what we'll give will be right. That's the real life. So I can't say it's the incorrect answer. But this is not the most optimum answer. I said. So thinking here means that you have to not think in the way you yeah, please. Thinking like a process. Again, good answer, but not an optimal answer.
Think different.
So to think different is again given the condition, I'll say is the most optimal answer. But probably I'll try to give a better answer than that. So think different is okay, but different from what?
To solve that problem, what we have analyzed earlier.
The traditional ways.
The traditional way of thinking. So we call it design thinking to make you understand in a very simple manner that you have to think like designers. You do need not think like what we do. And what is our thinking process? Our thinking process is analytical. Okay, we'll always try to analyze things first and then solve it. And that's how we have been trained all across our life. And we doesn't mean Indian students, all across the world. So design thinking is a very new course which is introduced in the curriculum of most of the universities, and it's become so popular that CBSE has introduced design thinking as an elective in class 11, 12 also. And I've been talking to some schools of Jabalpur. They have invited me to teach design thinking to class 6, 7, 8 student also. In fact, I have invited two school students with their class varying from 6 to 10 to visit my lab and to see all the projects which have been done by my students, obviously BTech and BTech students on design thinking. The class 6 student coming understanding what is design thinking. And it's important. I feel it should be part of the school curriculum because it basically changes the way people think. And uh, it's like we throughout our life we do analyze. We have a problem first, we solve it. But important is not to solve a given problem, but to understand whether there is a problem or not. Because if there is no design thinking, no something, or we have something different, analytical thinking will lead to synthesis also. And synthesis is creating of new solution, new products. If there is no synthesis, we will never find any new product. Analysis is only what you have, and you analyze how it is performing. We'll see that there's a fan over here. Unfortunately, I can't see a fan over there. Or maybe, for example, I have a water bottle. I open the cap of this water bottle and I try to fit it. I find that the alignment is one of the challenges over here. So that's analysis. But to analyze this problem, I need to have a water bottle first. And this creation of water bottle is synthesis. So synthesis is important, but unfortunately, none of the curricula of engineering or any other across the world teaches synthesis that prominently. They don't give emphasis to synthesis. That's the unfortunate part. So let's come back to, because otherwise, if you want to raise hand and your time is over, so that's true also. So most important is to understand what is design thinking. So design thinking is called design thinking because it reflects how designers think when creating solutions. And it's not only designing a product or a visual. And design thinking, believe me, is not applicable to, I guess this is mechanical engineering audience, mechanical engineers. It is applicable to all branches of engineering. It's applicable to computer science students also, because they have to think when they are creating a software or an app, or maybe a robotic engineer, or maybe aerospace engineer, or maybe a circuit designer, or why only engineers? Even medical fraternity also needs to understand. In fact, I do present one case study when I teach design thinking in detail about the medical hospital of Stanford University. Stanford University Medical Hospital is among the top 10 hospitals in the world, and it's apart from the fact that it has one of the finest doctors, one of the finest facilities. The way they treat you, they treat patient first. Otherwise, when I ask you, anybody, like whether you like to visit hospital, anybody would like to raise hand? I'll put my hand down. Whenever you say, even you don't want to admit, but you are going to visit a friend of yours, visiting hospitals is always giving a scary feeling, because there everything is based upon the process, or the doctors, or the insurance people, those who are managing. Nobody give focus or give attention to patient, unless and until Munna Bhai MBBS came into picture actually. Okay, so that's where people started thinking, and even in hospitals also in India are also changing. But still they are not giving focus. So it's not about even, as I said, engineering, it's also about arts also. Somebody who wants to compose a new piece of music, somebody who wants to make a new piece of sculpture. Design thinking is required. Because if I create some piece of music which people are not willing to listen, okay, my music will be a failure. I'm creating an album based upon based upon my liking of 1950 songs. Today audience doesn't like 1950 songs. Today audience wants something flashy. So my piece of music will be a failure. So I have to understand the people first, and that's why you have to think like designer when creating solution. And designer thinks, what is that particular thing means? So designers don't start straight away with providing answers to the problem, but they start by understanding people. What we call empathy. What are the pain points of the people? What is the context of the problem? What are the constraints of the problem? There is no problem in this world except for what you are given in your examinations or maybe at the end of the textbook chapter, the problems which are given, which are without constraints. Real life always have constraints. Okay. I provide you the best possible solution of traveling from here to Delhi. I can give you maybe a personalized jet. It will pick you up from the VIT campus and drop you wherever you want to get at Delhi. But there will be a constraint. And what will that constraint? Money. Not everybody can afford the charges of that. So everything in this life has a constraint, as I said, except for the problem which are given in the end of the chapters of the book, which are unconstrained problem, and that's where it's different. And it's not like one-time solution you can get, right? You have to keep on repeating and repeating. It has to be iterative manner through which you can land with the solution. Thinking is what? A cognitive process, which is more like a mind, which I've shown you earlier. And the word thinking implies that this is a mental framework. Mental framework of what? How problems are framed, how assumptions are challenged, how ideas are generated, tested, and refined. So this has to be through mentally understanding. You have to understand the problem first. You have to understand what are the assumptions you have made. Because an unassumed problem is normally not solvable. So you have to make certain assumptions. And then how ideas are generated, how ideas are tested, and how ideas are refined. So design thinking is about how you think, not what you design. So that's the difference between design and design thinking. So what you're designing is design, but what you think is design thinking. It is, as I said earlier, it contrasts with traditional analytical thinking. The traditional analytical thinking is work on the model of define, analyze, solve. But design thinking works upon the empathy, understanding the people's problem first, then define, then ideate, then prototype, and test it. In analytical thinking, problem is fixed, but in design thinking, problem is flexible. You have to change the problem because ultimately you have to satisfy the people. The analytical thinking is more like optimization, and analytical thinking also tries to avoid failure. In Indian system in particular, failure is always considered to be a dirty word. But failures are not dirty. In fact, failures are better teacher than anybody else in the life. Your failure teaches you what not to do, which is very important. So design thinking teaches you how to learn, how to rise from the ashes, how to learn from the failures, which is very important. In fact, I'm pretty sure everybody in this gathered audience knows about, have heard about Silicon Valley. The Silicon Valley mantra is fail early, fail fast. That's the mantra of Silicon Valley. They say that you must fail early in your career and you must learn to how to overcome that thing in a fast manner. Don't linger on the failure. Recoup fast. So design thinking deliberately signals that solutions are created, not discovered. Human experience is filtered. Iteration beats perfection. You keep on doing multiple times, you will get a better solution. And logic alone is insufficient for complex human problems. So this is like design thinking. Still, the bulb is there, but most important is the person who is navigating that one. There is no circuit between the bulb and the human being. So it's like a Wi-Fi illumination of bulb through design thinking process. And that such a person who does it is considered a design thinker because he or he is a better person to make society a better place to live. So who are design thinkers? They are the people who venture out of box. Okay, don't think in a conventional methodology. Who are open-minded. Open-minded means that we should be receptive to the people. We should be able to learn what people are, listen what people are saying, learn what they are doing from their things. And it is like more like cross-disciplinary. You should be trying to learn different tricks in that way. Who enjoy collaborative ideation, so there must be a collaboration. Who have an open eye on product and eye on the future. So they know what is going to come, what is going to click in future. Who have a passion for change. This is very important. Like most of us are become very static. So if the table and chairs are kept like this, in every event will keep like this. But we must think what can be a better solution. Why can't we keep the podium on that side? Or why can't we keep the podium at the bottom? Think over it. It may not be best solution. Still, change is important. who tell visual stories. Now, this is also very important. Like they always try to make a narration based upon the visual communication. By visual communication, it is always better to be communicated with the audience to understand the audience also. And above all, who do the things basically with the spirit of goodness. Okay, unless until they have something betterment in their mind, they will not be design thinkers. So idea is to make the world a better place by design and every moment. Okay, so that's even the slight difference between the designers and design thinkers. Designers also working to make society a better place, but design thinkers are trying to make the entire world a better place, and that through only design and the continuous pursuit. So, in simple word, design thinking is teaming up of open-minded designers with thoughtful engineers and with users who will like to, most important, experiment, then develop and test prototypes, even discover flaws. Flaw identification is also very important, and rework quickly, and include business analysis during the development process. So there are, if you look, experimentation is very important, development is very important, development of prototypes and testing of prototypes. Then identification of defects or flaws, failures, quick reworking, and lastly, I have added business analysis also very important. I'll tell you why in subsequent slides. And this is a team of designers, engineers, with most importantly users. So, by this particular process, better products are launched in the market and people are more satisfied, which will lead to successful innovation. Now, earlier I have told about innovation. Now I am talking about successful innovation. So, all innovations are not successful. We all know. So, what is there which make an innovation a failure or a successful innovation? And there, for this, you have to combine business with design. That means design thinkers or business people must be ambidextrous. Why? Because if you may be very good in business, but if you are not combining design and design thinking, you will be only doing incremental changes. So business is excellent on this side, which generally leads to only incremental innovation and later stagnation. So if you have business only, no design thinking, then it will be incremental innovation and leading to stagnation. On the other hand, if you are design thinkers with no business, then it will be failed innovation. You are getting innovations, but most of them will be failed innovations. Or as the solutions are very creative, but they lead to failed innovations. So convert this failed innovation into a successful innovation. The design thinkers must combine business with the design thinking, and for business to grow exponentially, not incremental, they must combine design thinking with the business. So that's the joining of hand of business and design thinking, very important. So what we need is need for creative producers and product managers to work in cross-functional teams, develop deep user insights, collaborate, visualize ideas, and actually solve problems. Innovation is an idea that sells, but how do you make sure that your idea is going to sell? Because with every innovation, there are multiple failures. So for that, there is no scientific law, but you have to only find out the probability of making success. So that's where your gut feeling is very important. Whether you can find out whether the innovation which you're making, that is the probability of success or not. So important is you must have insights while producing or selecting products and minimize the cost of failure and time to recoup, which is very important. So fail fast, but rise up quickly. That's very important. You should do. So it's okay for you to fall down while you're walking. Only those who walk, they will fall down. It's important to get up rather than cribbing. So this is a very typical model of design thinking. We define the problem. We go for the need assessment and benchmarking. that is understanding the user and design space. Then we go for brainstorming, which is also called as ideation. Then we are building prototypes, and we are testing. And from testing, we are learning. But then why have we made another circle? Because just now I told you the design thinking is not one step process, iterative. So once you like after you do this, after learning, you have to redefine the problem, and that's why we say design never ends. Design is always a continuous process. So this is an ideal situation. Like multiple people or single people, they have multiple smaller ideas, and we make a bigger idea, bigger bubble. But actually, what happens? Actually, is like this. You normally start with a very great idea, but when you start testing it, it starts fizzling out, and somewhere down the line, it vanishes because you may not have done the proper design thinking methodology. May not have understood what are the challenges of the people. And this is how the design thinking process looks like. It's a mirror. It's not like moving like this only. You can move from here to here also. You can move from here to here also. You can move from testing to prototype also. So design thinking is not linear. It's not one-time process. It's an iterative process, and you can start from any point. It also doesn't go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can be 3, 1, 4, 2, 5 also. It can be any order. That's important. So that you have to understand very clearly. So when you go for problem solving, as I said earlier, the most important step is the problem forming. Once you form the problem, only then you should try to solve. And when you solve the problem which is formed correctly, you get the product. Otherwise, you may not get the product. So design thinking is human-centric methodology, multidisciplinary collaboration, and user focus, and iterative process. But for what? What is this black box which we get at the end of all these things? So this is innovative products, or innovative systems, or innovative services. So design thinking can be applied in anything. It can be applied in the education institute also. It can be applied in the hospital sector also. It can be for making a new type of mobile phone also, a new type of spacecraft also. Everything it can be worked. So design thinking is a vibrant interactive solution which promote learning through rapid conceptual prototyping.
10.
10 minutes. So design thinking deals with creation, behavior, and values. And design thinking, as I said just now, is applicable to products also and services also. The reason is that no service can be done without products, and none of the products are meant to do not any service. Like for example, we say education is a service, but for delivering this service, I need a mic. You need chairs to sit. We need a auditorium and lecture hall. We need production system, which are all products. While when we talk about product, I have a mobile phone, but that is meant to provide a service or talking to people, communicating with people. And that's why we say integration of product and services, what we call a system. Design thinking is applicable not only for a product or a service, but for a system also. So this is a very typical design thinking process, which is based upon the product design process. So we start with define, which is a design brief, then research, do the background study, ideate, generate solutions, coming to prototype, which is resolving the problem, select based upon the rationale, implement based upon the delivery, and learning based upon the feedback. But as I said, these processes are not not linear, but it's iterative and frequently involves revisiting earlier segments for reworking as it evolves. So design thinking tools, there are two important tools of design thinking. The one is a human-centered design, and second is a double diamond design, which is the diverged, converged model of design given by British Council of Design in 1960s. So these two design without going into detail of these two design tools, let me very briefly introduce to you these tools. So this is a human-centered design tool which is uh, observation, idealization, prototyping, and testing, and goes the circular path. But then somebody may ask, although the audience is very good this time, nobody is asking any question. But if you keep on moving in circles, when are we going to stop? It cannot be that you can keep on doing a process at ultimate time. But actually, when you implement this human-centered design process, in reality, this is a circle of decreasing radius. So every time when you move, this radius or this diameter is decreasing. So ultimately, you come to the center of the circle, and that's where you leapfrog. So this is we say it appears to be circular, but actually this is spiral type of thing. Okay. Then coming to double diamond approach. Double diamond approach is also the first is to find the right problem, then find the right solution. So to find the right problem, you have a diverse converge model. That's why we said diverse converge model. And for finding solution, also we have a diverse converge model. And this goes over time, and these are the number of alternatives on the y-axis. Okay, so you start with discover, define, develop, deliver. Here is four steps. So this first half is discover, then convergence is define, develop, and deliver. 4 Ds. So just to summarize what I have told you today, to make you understand in a better manner what I have said, the focus of design thinking is to ensure that results fit human desires, human needs, and capabilities. Now, not everybody is capable of same thing. Okay, like you may be capable of running very fast. I may not be capable of running very fast, but I may be able to do something which you may not be able to do. So people have different capabilities, people have different needs, and people have different desires. So design thinking must ensure that your solution should fulfill all three things. If you're leaving anything, it's a incomplete satiation of the problem. And how do you do it? Everybody has seen a Rubik cube. Can you solve it once? No. Keep on doing it. So it has to be iterative manner. And how do you do iteration in design thinking? You don't solve with the Rubik cube problem actually. How do you do it? You do it by understanding the problem first, interpreting the problem first, and then resolving it. So design thinking is like something like this. I don't know whether you're able to read it or not, but this is a lady, when she opened her room or refrigerator, it's a complete mess. And she says she was not taught in the school how to solve this particular problem. Okay, so can you help me, Mrs. B? This wasn't covered in any of my education courses. This you learn by practice. Or maybe you learn by doing internships. You learn by doing field studies. You work on field to understand what is the problem. Learn through practice. It can be supervised learning, but it can be also what is unsupervised learning. So that's what is how real life works. And when you understand the problem of the people, it's called design thinking. So the most important steps, which I believe, and not every textbook on design thinking or not every website on design thinking covers, but what I believe, apart from all these things, and I always emphasize the most two important steps of the design thinking are first to find the right problem, and then to find the right solution. So, as I said in the beginning, I am just repeating again, any brilliant idea, but for incorrect problem, is a failed innovation. And what I expect from you is with successful innovation. And this is what you call as design thinking. That's all from my side. If time permits, we can take a few questions also.
Anybody is having any question?
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, you talked about the innovation, for example. My question is related to that. These days, the youngsters they go with a lot of startup ideas. They and the percentage have also been proven where the ideas, startups are huge, but then the success of startups are very less. So, what will be your advice to the youngsters in this way? And how can they develop this approach of design thinking so that they can succeed?
So good you asked this question because that skipped out of my mind when I was talking about this thing. And this in fact, I tell to all the students I deal with. So whenever we give any problem to any set of students, they start with a solution. That this, I'll do this, and we'll get you a solution. That's the most incorrect methodology because we should not starting with the solution. As I said, we should try to understand the problem first, and that is what is happening when people go for the startup. Something has clicked into their mind, and they start developing a product, and they start pitching it. They go all where trying to raise resources and all those things, but it's more important to understand that whether is this the product which people want. If people want that product, obviously your startup will be a success. But if people do not want that product, you may sell down their throat for maybe 6 months, 9 months, but not after that. So after that, it is going to be a doomed startup. So again, apart from the competency which we have, the technical skill or the idea what we have to tailor the solution of that idea based upon what people want. What is the preference of people? So if people want, it will be always a successful innovation. In fact, this happens with me also every time. Whenever I give a course project to anything, and I always tell them to discuss the problem what they want to form. I don't give them problem. I ask them to scout for the problem also, to discuss the problem with me first. They'll not start with the problem statement. They say that we have thought to make a water bottle which will not only hold water but automatically convert water into milk also. I don't need a milk. Why do you selling me milk down the line? So this is a very bad approach. Don't think for any problem from solution perspective. That's my one piece of advice.
Sir, I have a question. Okay. With reference to design thinking tools, human-centered design and double diamond approach, I'm referring to few of the success measures for product introduction, like time to market, how rapidly we introduce a product into the market, diffusion rate, how readily the customer accept product. So this is just not a query. I want to some crucial insights with reference to time to market, diffusion rate.
So actually, this is again a misnomer which most of us we feel that if we launch the market early, any product in the market early, that will be good. That's obviously good. But then in the garb of launching a product into the market early, if you're not doing proper R&D, the product will not survive. So time to market is obviously very important. But if you do a proper double diamond approach, a proper human centered design approach, which is obviously time consuming, but then it will cut down a number of iterations. It will cut down on product recall or product changes, or maybe even leading to failed products also. So there is one school of thought which always talk of TCTs, time compression technologies, and that which always say it's true also. Like suppose you and me both are working on the same idea, both wanted to launch the product first into the market. Both of us wanted to launch the product into the market. If you launch the product first, probably you will gather the launch share of the market. For me to reach to your stage will take quite time. But if my product is better, my product will be more stable. Your product may be running very good number one product in the market for 6 months, 7 months, or 4 months. But after that, your product graph will be like this. My product graph will be like this. So it's always good to put your money on the product which is moving like this, not going like this. So time, but obviously you have to balance between the time and the the empathy and people understanding also. So that balance is based upon experience, what we call experiential learning.
Yes. So on
Yes, sir. So my question is whether it is possible that design thinking is misused and sometimes over designing can also take place for certain products or for certain concepts.
So everything in this world can be misused.
Yes.
So as this is your cautious wisdom to think, and that's why we always try all these terms. We try to integrate. Like design thinking is also linked somehow with the experiential learning. Also, you tend to know where is the fine line you are drawing. Where is it, what is the time you should cut down the design? You should be going back to the people. Over designing is also not only what he asks is time wastage, but can be leading to poor design also. So design thinking can be done this way also, and we have to be careful of that particular aspect also.
Thank you.
That's why when I showed you the convergent circle of design, then it has to be a very continuous moving circle with very fast reduction in diameters.
Anyone else?
So my question is that nowadays, as the problems are given to the students or upcoming generation, they refer the AI first in place of doing their own thinking. So what way we can motivate them to think first, then go to AI to solve it?
So when you use AI, what is the precaution you take? You must have also used AI.
Yes, sir. I have used.
So
AI.
what is the first or the foremost precaution you use?
Sir, it should be something around my thinking. Like
It is not only about my thinking, but AI will only give you right answer when your prompt is right. Am I right?
yes, sir.
For prompt, you have to do thinking.
Yes, sir.
So again, uh, please understand that nothing in this world is good or bad. AI is also not bad. In fact, we have been teaching how to integrate AI into the design thinking process also. So it's your thinking with the machine thinking. We have to do a proper balance. So the idea is that to make the machine think, first you have to think. That's important.
So I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I have a startup related question that we have to focus on the execution or innovation of the product.
So both are equally important. Both are equally important. If you do not execute, your innovation will not sell. And uh, even in engineering also, it's not important what you make, but how you sell is very important. Unless until you sell, your product will be lying in the shelves only. It will be in the laboratory itself. But then, if you only focus on execution, then why should I buy a candy from you when I have better candies available? So there must be some innovation into your product also. Without innovative product, you may be able to sell once, twice, thrice, but after that, who's going to take a product? And one more thing which you have not asked, but I'm saying it's not one-time process also. It's not only innovation or execution, but continuous innovation and continuous execution. You have to keep on innovating. And when you keep on innovating, you have to probably change the way you execute is very important. Like who would have thought that online delivery mode is one form of lecture before COVID? This has become like Zoom, tools like Zoom, Google Meet, they have become very popular these days. So that's innovation, continuous change. And one very important mantra with design is the design is not static. Design is always dynamic. Because if you even if I give you the best possible solution, you will always say, "इससे अच्छा नहीं मिल सकता क्या?" There's a saying that there's the act, "Dil mange more," which is very perfect for design also.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your thoughtful session. And now, sir, we'll be going ahead for the valedictory session after a break of 10 minutes. So we all will be going for high tea. I request all of you to please have a tea within 10 minutes and please reach out here once again. Thank you so much.
इसको अपने पास
सर हम जो डिजाइन थिंकिंग का माइंडसेट का वो प्रिंसिपल है उसी को हम प्रोसेस में इनकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे लाइक आई सेड टू राइट व्हेन यू आस्क मी कि अभी ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया देन अगेन वी आर गोइंग टू रीडिफाइन इट आई जस्ट सेड डिजाइन नेवर एंड्स
सर मेरा पीएचडी का टॉपिक है डिजाइन डेवलपमेंट इन ऑटोमोटिव वेहिकल्स उसमें सबसे मेजर प्रोडक्शन में है तो इसीलिए मैंने आपसे पूछा उस पे टाइप टू मार्केट में डिसीजन लेकर कुछ मार्केट से काम करने के लिए सबसे पहले कैपिटलिज्म रेगुलेटरी नॉर्म्स ऑटोमोबाइल पे रहते हैं ये सब सारे हमें जो बैंक थे टाटा मोटर्स में टैग जनरल चेयर उन्हीं का
सर दे दीजिए अभी क्लीनिंग करेगा सर
आ रहा हूँ कर दिया मैंने
Potential is nothing without kinetic execution. Distinguished luminaries, learned faculty, and the fraternity of scholars. Since the inception of this dialogue, we have not just discussed engineering, we have calibrated the very machinery of the future. We are not here to mark an end, we are here to witness the transfer of momentum.
Good afternoon to one and all. I, Ishika Joshi.
And I, Anmol Sharma, sophomore mechanical engineering from School of Mechanical Engineering at VIT Bhopal University, welcomes you all for the proceedings of the valedictory function of Staaar 2025.
To ground our ambitions in humility, I request this august gathering to rise for the Tamil Thai Vatsu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டனிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த காவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிரிவுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழவை திறந்து என்று செய்ய மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
To welcome formally this distinguished council, I invite the conference chair and dean of the School of Mechanical Engineering, Dr. S. Balaguru, to deliver the welcome address.
Esteemed Chief Guest of today's valedictory function, Dr. Puneet Pitandan, Professor at IIITM Jabalpur, respected Registrar Mr. K.K. Nair, sir, Organizing Secretaries of Staaar 2025, Dr. Rohit Sharma and Dr. Pushpadan Jain, Conveners Dr. Prashant G.K. and Dr. Shivamanjiri Gopalia, my dear colleagues, participants from various colleges who joined this function online. Good afternoon to all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the valedictory function of our Staaar 2025 conference. So yesterday we started the 4th edition of our Staaar 2025 with a big bang, and now we have reached the closing ceremony of the Staaar 2025. So in the film world, the December month marks the return of Avatar. Avatar 3 is going to release tomorrow. So every year this December month is a month for our Staaar Conference. So we have finished 4 avatars. That means I mean to say we finished 4 editions of Staaar 2000 series conference successfully. And in the cricket, especially in one-day ODIs, the duo Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli duo is very popular in leading Team India to victory. So in the same manner, the duo Dr. Rohit Sharma and Dr. Pushpadan Jain, who played the pivotal role for Staaar 2025 as the organizing secretary, which led to the stupendous success of this Staaar 2025. Like the cricketer Rohit Sharma, our Rohit Sharma is very diligent worker, and like Virat Kohli, Dr. Pushpadan Jain is a silent worker. So the diligence and the silence complement each other and led to 200% success of Staaar 2025. So this year you have seen the dual Shakti of our conference. Next year you are going to see the Nari Shakti of our conference. So With this fine note, I would like to welcome the chief guest, Dr. Puneet Tandon. So, Dr. Puneet Tandon has nearly 4 decades of experience in teaching in engineering, reputed engineering institutions. He finished 17 years of experience in NIT, that is in Kurukshetra, NIT Kurukshetra, and 20 years in IIIT in Jabalpur. Incidentally, he is the first employee of IIIT Jabalpur, and he is now the professor higher academic grade at IIIT Jabalpur. And he headed 3 departments: the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Department of Smart Manufacturing, and also the Department of Design. And he is a doyen in the field of hybrid manufacturing. So we are happy to have you with us as a chief guest today. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our respected registrar, Mr. K.K. Nair, sir. Registrar sir is known for his great sense of humor, which makes him very energetic all the time. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our colleagues, Dr. Rohit Sharma, Dr. Pushpadan Jain, and other colleagues. And eventually, I want to contribute to the success of Staaar 2025 to our other faculty members. So, without them, it would not have been possible, especially the convener, Dr. Prashant GK, who is not available today due to his official work. He is out of station. And Dr. Shivamanjari Gopalaya, who is also the another convener. The co-conveners, Dr. Abhishek Srivatsava, Dr. Ankush Sharma, who is Ankush Thakkar, who is on leave today due to his family function, and Dr. Kumari Ambe Verma. The credit also goes to the secretaries Dr. Mr. Deepak Kumar and Mr. Mayur Kumar. So with this fine note, I welcome all the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to host our expert in the domain of design and manufacturing. It is a distinct privilege to acknowledge the presence of our chief guest, Dr. Puneet Tandon, professor at IIIT Jabalpur. I request our registrar, Mr. K.K. Nair, to kindly honor our chief guest with a bouquet and memento. Thank you, sir. To introduce a personality of such academic caliber, I invite Dr. Kumari Ambe Verma, co-convener of Staaar 2025.
Thank you, Anmol. Professor Puneet Tandon is a joint professor of mechanical engineering and design at Indian Institute of Information Technology, Design Manufacturing, Jabalpur, India. He was a member of a board of governance of IIIT Jabalpur from 2010 to 2014 and managed Bhopal from 2012 to 15. He had been the founding dean of planning and development and the founding dean of research sponsored project and consultancy at IIIT Jabalpur. He has also served as the head of 3 different departments: mechanical engineering, smart manufacturing, and design for 8 consecutive years, as well as chief vigilance officer. Currently, he serves as a professor in charge of the Innovation and Incubation Center and director of Technology Incubation Center, overseeing the innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem on campus, as well as professor in charge of alumni affairs. He also served on the academic senate and council of various universities and institute. Professor Tandon is the mentor of the D-Logic Lab and Social Innovation Lab, and his primary research include advanced manufacturing technology, digital design and manufacturing, and innovation product which design and development, which are recognized at national and international level. He graduated in mechanical engineering from National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra, India. He received his master's and doctoral degree in mechanical engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, India. Professor Tandon has more than 37 years of experience in engineering, research, education, academic, and administration. He attended the Leadership for Academician Program LEAP of the Ministry of Education, Government of India at University of Cambridge, UK, and IIT Kharagpur 2019 and 20. In 2020, he has been conferred the prestigious title of Honorary Professor by the NMSTU, an educational institute of higher education under the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Russian Federation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I now invite our respected registrar, Mr. K.K. Nair, to deliver his felicitation address. Shri K.K. Nair, the acting registrar of VIT Bhopal University, brings a distinguished career spanning 36 years in Vaid, culminating in the role of general manager at head office, New Delhi. Holding degree in MSW and LLM, Shri Nair possesses exceptional expertise in human resource management, industrial relations, and legal affairs. Since 2018, he has enriched VIT Bhopal University through various roles, including registrar, faculty, and special officer, sharing his wealth of experience from both industry and academia. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, respected chief guest of this evening, Dr. Puneet Tandon, Pro VC Sridharan sir, Dr. S. Balaguru, conference chair as well as Dean of School of Mechanical Engineering, Dr. Rohit Sharma, Dr. Abhishek Srivastav, Dr. Srimati Shivamanjari Gopalia, Dr. Prashant, other dignitaries, students. I'm happy to be here in this concluding session, valedictory session of the 4th International Conference on Sustainable Engineering. I'm sure that the past 2 days has seen the various developments across the world in the field of, in the field of sustainable engineering, which is what makes the life better day by day. I'm sure that the lights that is thrown during the 2-day conference would help the students as well as the researchers to throw more light on the practical applicability to sustain the life around us for a better tomorrow. I'm sure the team led by Dr. S. Balaguru has done a wonderful job, and this will turn to be a watershed moment in sustainable engineering. So, as the conference comes to the close, as the curtains are drawn, I wish all the success for the future endeavors in this regard, and I'm sure the next years are going to see much of the efforts or the deliberations which was done in the past 2 days becoming more and more relevant and useful for our life. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we proceed to the cornerstone of this ceremony. I respectfully invite our chief guest, Dr. Puneet Tandon, to deliver the valedictory address.
Good afternoon to all of you. Respected Mr. Nair, the Registrar of VIT Bhopal, Dr. Balagul, Dr. Rohit Sharma, and Dr. Pushpendra Jain, the conference organizers, the other members, other faculty members present in the audience. First of all, I want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to be here and speak to you not only as a keynote speaker, but to this particular function also. The conferences are a very important part of life because they teach you what is not being taught in the classrooms or other environments. Even if you interact with some of the experts also, the interaction may initiate a knowledge transfer, but may not lead to properly. But conferences are much more broader and better platform, which can, which are the app for showcasing the work which different people have done. You must have listened to multiple speakers, multiple people, or in fact, young scholars also who have showcased their research to you, the research which is outcome of multiple years of their hard work in maybe a few minutes time. But that basically opens up your mind to what are the possibilities which as a normal human being we may not be able to transfer. So this is the fourth year of Staaar Conference, and I also agree very strongly that sustainable technologies is one of the cornerstones or one of the pillars of the future generation. We have to focus on that. The conference is focused on a very bright theme, and it always take a lot of work, lot of homework in building the foundation of a conference. So now the 4 years have been spent, and I'm very optimistic that the conference will gain name and fame all across the world. The older the conference is, the better the acceptability of the conference among the academic fraternity becomes. So in subsequent years, I'm pretty sure that you will see much more uh, better papers, better audience, broader audience, and more bigger conference than each previous year would have been. Uh, it has to, everybody needs a patience to keep it continuing. And this being the valedictory function of this particular conference, I'll also agree with what our young friends have said that it's not the valedictory, but it's a transformation from Star 4 to preparing to Star 5 and subsequent conferences. So these words, I like to wish all the best to the entire School of Mechanical Engineering, all the faculty members, staff members, and students who have worked day in and night out to make this conference success. And I also hope that future conference will be much more brighter in the sky of academic fraternity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your words have added significant weight to our deliberation. In a world full of noise, we search for the signal. It is time to separate the excellent from the exceptional. To announce the recipient of Best Paper Awards, I invite Dr. Rohit Sharma, one of the organizing secretary of Staaar 2025.
Good afternoon to respected dignitaries on the dais, eminent speakers, keynote speakers, faculty colleagues, students, and all dear participants. One of the most cherished tradition of any academic conference is to recognize and celebrating outstanding research contributions. Today, it gives me an immense pleasure to disclose the best paper award for each of the 10 technical sessions. This 10 technical session contains around 58 papers. We have received around 135 papers, out of which we selected 58 papers, and out of 58 papers, almost 10 students or 10 researchers will receive this best paper award. So it is an outstanding achievement. These awards are selected by our chairs and co-chairs. So let me begin the best paper award. For session A1, the best paper award goes to paper ID AER007, and it is presented by Prasad. Session B1, paper ID DES008, presented by Dr. Rohit Tamrakar. Session C1, the paper ID THE018, presented by Dr. Divya Haridas. So we'll post it on the website because it will take a lot of application as well. So we'll post it on the website. I will. Yeah. Uh, so session A2, paper ID MFG005, presented by Jagmeet Singh Ware. Session B2, paper ID ROB011, presented by Love Pathak. Session C2, paper ID OTS007, presented by Sania Feroz Nayak. Session A3, paper ID MAT004, presented by M. Ikembaram. Session B3, paper ID MFG017, presented by Piyush Saharan. Session C3, paper ID MFG016, presented by Ashutosh Pandey. And the last one, session A4, the paper ID THE019, presented by Mami Rojon Turadimabato from Uzbekistan. So once again, a big round of applause for all the best paper award winners for this wonderful achievement. So congratulations to all, and thank you to all to make this Staaar 2025 a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gratitude is the memory of the heart. To acknowledge the architects behind this successful event, I invite Dr. Debashish Srivastava, co-convener, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. It's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks in this valedictory function of 4th International Conference on Sustainable Technologies and Advances in Automation, Aerospace and Robotics, Staaar 2025. I, on behalf of the organizing committee of Staaar 25, convey deep regards and heartily thanks to Honorable Chancellor Dr. G. Viswanathan. I am also thankful to our Vice President Sri Sankar Viswanathan, Trustee Mrs. Ramani Balasundaram, and respected Assistant Vice President Ma'am Ms. Kadambari S. Viswanathan for their continuous motivation and support in organizing this conference. I would like to extend my thanks to our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. T.V. Sridharan, sir, for supporting us at every step. Your able guidance has always encouraged us. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our registrar, Sir Mr. K. Nair, and Dean Faculty Affairs and General Administration Dr. Devasis Atkari for their kind support. I would also like to convey my sincere thanks and gratitude to the chief guest, Professor Jayendra Venkateswaran from IIT Bombay, guest of honor Dr. Praveen Kumar from Boston College, USA, and Dr. Puneet Tandon, professor at IIITDM, Jabalpur, for gracing this event with their benign presence. I would like to thank all the keynote speakers, session chairs and reviewers to accept our invitation and timely completion of all activities of our conference. It's my gratitude to express my heartfelt thanks to our Dean Dr. S. Balaguru for your constant and kind support. I convey my sincere thanks to organizing secretary Dr. Rohit Sharma, conveners Dr. Prasant GK and Dr. Siv Manjiri Gopalia, co-conveners Dr. Ankush Thakur, Dr. Kumari Verma, and Secretary Public Relations Mr. Deepak Kumar and Mr. Mayur Kumar Rajak of Staaar 2025 for planning, coordinating this event, for their unparalleled effort in organizing the conference. Finally, I would like to thank our PhD scholars, Ms. Neha Bharti, lab technicians, Mr. Jeet Singh Yadav and Mohammad Amir, CTS teams, hospitality teams, staff members, and hardworking student volunteers involved in this event directly or indirectly. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the participants who have helped us to make this conference a grand success. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Have a very nice day.
Small announcement that those who are attending online, so we are going to post the best paper awards in our website. So you are able to see the title, the name of or the affiliation and everything in detail in our Staaar Conference website. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We often say that all good things must come to an end. I disagree. In physics, energy is never destroyed, it is only transferred. What we have generated here, this intellect, this vision, this fire, does not end when the lights go off. It transforms into the bridges, the codes we will write, and the lives we will sustain. I request everyone to stand for the national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
We request the dignitaries to join us for a final archival photograph.
Yes, sir.